What's going on, people? We are back with what I believe is episode 21 of the Conscious Approach podcast. JV Wins here, Dave De Niro G here. We want to talk about a story that happened last week, but it's still resonating with some ancillary stories into this week. The Nick Cannon thing. Nick Cannon was another victim of cancel culture when he made insensitive, ignorant comments that were anti-Semitic. As a result, there was a lot of fallout from that situation. He has been fired by CBS Viacom, who is the parent company of MTV, which was the television network that, of course, broadcasted his Wild 'N Out program and various other things of that sort that he was involved in. He has since apologized for the comments that he made, but the fallout is what it is. So what has happened is what has happened, and it is a particular note for me because I happen to believe that cancel culture is a plague upon society, and it is one of the many negative things that has been birthed by this social media addicted culture that we now find ourselves in. So, first of all, it was his own podcast. I think it's called Glass Cannon. He has some guy on there whose name eludes me at the moment.
Dr. Griff.
Dr. Griff, there you go. Yeah, and he made comments that were anti-Semitic, admittedly. What he said, if you watch any documentary, there has been a lot of education on the subject of anti-Semitism. There's a lot of documentaries that you can find on YouTube. Some of them get broadcast on TV. I was watching one on the Florida State Network a couple weeks ago that debunks a lot of these theories that involve the notion of a new world order that's being spearheaded by the Jewish community to control the world finances and banks and things like that. We don't need to get into the weeds of that, but a lot of that stuff has been debunked. It's simply not true. So if you believe those things or you co-sign it, you are co-signing ignorance. But that's as far as I'm gonna go. What he said was ignorant, and it was insensitive towards the Jewish community. He shouldn't have been in a position to make those comments, but he made them nevertheless. But what bothers me about what has transpired since is the severe backlash that to me was heavy-handed that he experienced as a result of what he said. I don't think that he should have been fired by CBS Viacom. And I think that I don't like cancel culture because to me it is an example of the way that social media is wielded by the masses as a weapon to take down people who might say something that they don't agree with. And instead of canceling people and stripping them of a livelihood that they have worked hard to earn through talent and hard work, we instead should be using them as teachable moments. So, for example, Nick Cannon says what he says. Instead of CBS Viacom firing him because they feel that that's the necessary measure that needs to be taken, how about you use that as an opportunity to put Nick Cannon in front of a camera and have him, I don't know, make him a part of a roundtable discussion where you're talking about how what he said was, anti-Semitic or wrong, just the error in the comments, and just use it as a teachable moment so that he can be used as an example for others who might think that some of those things are true. But I understand why they made the decision, because the backlash that he was receiving was going to be heaped upon them, and they made a business move. We're going to fire this guy so that none of this rubs off on us in a negative fashion. And it's unfortunate that a lot of these corporations are so toothless and they're cowards, and they end up firing somebody who has worked hard and done so many tremendous things for their own respective communities and who otherwise is a good person, because you want to placate these social justice masses who just want to see a famous person or a public figure be torn down because they said something that they don't agree with. Overall, I just have a serious issue with the cancel culture society. I don't like it, and it needs to go away. It's a problem.
Yeah, I'm with you. I feel like, like you said, because I read some of the statements. I didn't really read, but when I heard, I think on the Breakfast Club, the stuff he said, for me, I think there was just some truth in there. I don't know, it didn't sound too offensive when I first listened to it, but that's here or there. But like you said, I think what really just struck me about the whole situation, especially Nick Cannon, for the African American community, I think it's important, and not for anybody, for just people. I think it's important that, especially if you're in a position where you are operating as a business owner / whatever you want to be, entrepreneur, something like that, I think it's important that the person needs to get in their mind to understand that you've been canceled before you actually been canceled. Because I think it's unfortunate that we look to see like social media can cancel you, or people can, I'm just not like, just push you out to the side, and it affects that person like Nick Cannon, and they take it to heart, and then you got to come out and apologize and do all these things. And it's like, I think people, like, if you stand on something, just stand on it. Like, who in the hell gives anybody any permission to cancel what you're doing? So I'm with you. Like, the cancel culture, I think, is stupid, and I think it's unfortunate that most of the people that try to cancel are people who are just cynical. And, they rather see somebody else suffering, maybe because of their own suffering, maybe because of they're not happy, certain things. So you'd rather see somebody who was doing something positive, and you would have quit to cancel him to try to bring him down to a lower level, when regardless of what, like, the things that Canada has done and represented in the community should outweigh everything.
That's right, yeah.
And like you said, and then he apologized to the Jewish community. And then when he apologized, then the black people were on his side. But then after he apologized, before he apologized, the black community was like, okay, Nick. Then he apologized, and the black community turned on him. And like you said, so, and he said it, so it's like I said, the canceling culture is unfortunate. And I think it's like, even with me being, PVO entrepreneur, like, when I posted a post on Facebook a couple weeks ago, people try to come at me and certain things. And, I just think, like, for me personally, I make up my mind, like, I just try to build whatever I'm doing off of my morals and principles. So that way, even if it might come across in the future somebody like that, like, I don't care. You cancel me. Yeah. Like, I've been canceled. Like, in my mind, I'm canceled.
That's what Kanye said that before. Kanye said, I've been different, and I've been thinking for myself. So in the eyes of the masses, I've been canceled.
And that's how I look at it. So I just think it was unfortunate. No, I don't want to say unfortunate. It was just, for me, I was just more like, I don't want to say shocked, but just like surprised when I was like, Nick Cannon got fired in front of the world. And he's straight. He'll be straight. But I think for him, I just felt a little bad, because it was like, dang, for the longest, I thought we looked at Nick Cannon like, nobody saw Nick Cannon can get fired. You know what I mean?
That's the power of this machine. It'll take anybody down.
But so the other thing is, then it's on like people like Nick Cannon, like, or even if it's your own podcast, you either recognize that you can get fired, or you so self-consumed with your ego that you thought you couldn't get fired, and then you get fired. And so then, to me, I just feel like there's a little lack of, I guess, ignorance per se on Nick Cannon's part.
Lack of self-awareness. Yeah.
And we tend to think that people got money and they're rich and things, and like, it just goes to show, like, they always say you can build something in 20 years, and then it could take 1 month to destroy everything off one decision you make. And so I think, like you said, we got to stop giving so much credit to these celebrities and all these things, because they are human. We got to stop looking at it like these guys are perfect people, because time and time again, we see that these people, prominent athletes, stars, like, somehow they have these mental lapses that be huge. And I think it's indicative of, because the success and the money that they get, that they sometimes get clouded. And I think Nick Cannon on his podcast felt like, whatever in his mind, he felt he was good. Because if he did, he wouldn't have to apologize.
Yeah, I think first he made the fundamental error of co-signing something that's not true, right? So that's number one. Like, regardless of the validity that such opinions may have for you, it's incumbent upon you to do your own independent research before you get onto a public forum to say something that might be deemed controversial, especially if those things are actually discredited. And they've been like discredited by historians and things like that. Like, I don't like to get into what is and is not anti-Semitic, because I'm not Jewish. So I feel like it's not my place. But all I can really do is listen to people who are Jewish and watch some of these educational things and read books and see what it is. And I feel like if I'm Nick Cannon, even if I think those things are true, I need to do my due diligence before I get onto my podcast and dispense that message to my millions of followers who might be weak-minded enough to believe me and sort of replicate my ideology and spread it to other people. Because there is a certain platform that you have that you need to be more mindful of when you choose to do that kind of thing. But furthermore, and we talked about this when we discussed Michael Vick and the whole Hall of Fame thing. Was that the Hall of Fame game? The Pro Bowl, yeah.
When he did the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, and I just think at the end of the day, and you just touched on this before, it's very important that we try as a society to be more reasonable as people. Like, Nick Cannon does not have a track record for being insensitive, hateful, racist. He doesn't. And the thing is, most people, I feel like people know this, but they still will get so triggered because he made this one comment that you think is very insensitive that you feel that it's necessary for him to be stripped of something that he has worked to earn. I felt the same way about Michael Vick. I didn't think that it was appropriate for people to demand that he not be a part of the Pro Bowl because of his dogfighting history. Because like this is America, like especially when you get to high levels of success like that in entertainment and sports, America is built on a meritocracy. And you get to where you are because you work to earn it, not because it was given to you. So it is not your place to tell me that I cannot be a part of something that I work to earn because I said something that you don't agree with. And the reason why I feel so stridently about that is because my body of work and my history should afford me that luxury. So Nick Cannon has done tremendous work for Black people. He has paved the way for others to find careers for themselves in entertainment and in media. He's done tremendous work as a philanthropic person. He's been very benevolent throughout his career. And because he decided to make one mistake, it's like all of that gets thrown by the wayside, and we need to talk about how he's a racist person who needs to be thrown out. And it's compounded when these toothless, spineless corporations like Viacom bend the knee to this and say, you know what, we can't have this around. The people have spoken. We need to fire Nick Cannon, and completely disregard what his history is. It's wrong. It was wrong with Nick Cannon. It was wrong with Michael Vick. And just to mop it up, just so that, you know, I don't want to make it seem like I only feel like this because it's Nick Cannon and he's a Black man and all of this kind of stuff. I felt the same way about Drew Brees. Now, fortunately, with Drew Brees, it didn't get to the point where he was exiled from the NFL the way Kaepernick was. But Drew Brees made the statement that he made about how he doesn't agree with people protesting for the flag, or he'll never think that that's okay because respect for the military and the flag is first and foremost. And I fundamentally disagree with that point. And he was doing the same thing that a lot of these other idiots out here are doing, where in order to mask their prejudice against racial equality, they disguise it as respect for the military and the flag. And I felt like Drew Brees was making that same fundamental error. I disagree with that point, but just because I disagree with what he said, it didn't give me the right to say he doesn't need to be a quarterback anymore or he needs to get thrown out of the NFL, nor did it give me selective amnesia to the point where I completely disregarded the fact that up until that point, Drew Brees for his entire career had been a model citizen who was very philanthropic and did work in his community to help better other people. He has been a good person for all intents and purposes, but he made a mistake when he made that comment. Get over it and move on. Don't get triggered by it and believe that now it gives you the right to become a cyber bully and demand that he be stripped of a livelihood that he worked to earn. And it's the same with Nick Cannon.
I think, like you said, that's why I'm going to say that, because I think, first of all, like what I've just been learning more with this quarantine and all this stuff, the more we got time to, self-reflect and like learn and try to make yourself better. I'm realizing like social media, quote unquote, is the devil these days. And you know what I mean? And I mean that with all seriousness because social media, you just see how detached from society, from the real world, social media has made us become. And I feel like people don't address this too, even when it comes to Nick Cannon. They fired him, making him take these courses, doing an interview with a Jewish man. Now, it's kind of like, this is my thing. If it's that important for us to come together, to respect each other culturally, why don't we take these same educational purposes and classes and things that y'all want Nick Cannon to do, that really is quality control for the bigger picture, which is television the production company Viacom? Because I don't think they want. I don't think that their purpose was for Nick Cannon to learn and then educate other young African Americans so this don't happen. It's so you do this so we can bring you back and we kind of keep it controlled. You know what I mean? And I'm like, so we need to be spreading all this through the educational system at the younger people. So if it's all this is that important that's coming together, and I don't think that. I think it's just like you say, it's these entertainers, and we are unfortunately attached to them, and we vicariously want to live through them. Mm-hmm. And so many of us are just like, I just don't want to get it, man. And we just like say want to cancel somebody, but as I always say, it's never fun until the rabbit got the gun.
Sure,
and you know what I mean? And it's like, most people not even, like you say, selfless enough or even thinking about trying to do as much for other people as certain people like Nick Cannon. Because everybody's not like that. Everybody don't give a damn about being philanthropic and all that. Mm-hmm. People about themselves. Mm-hmm. So the second they get a chance to cancel somebody, it's like, how dare you cancel this man who's hardworking and doing all these things? Like, what gives you the right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like everything is just divisive, man. I think that's why we're just careful. We got to be careful what we're watching. I think from the African American or the black community, it's important that we just, like you said, we need to start just building our own. And for anybody, you don't have to just ownership, man. You want to have creative control or whatever it is, if that's the field you live into, because I think it's just unfortunate that, people, your hard work, talent, and dedication can be in the hands of somebody person.
Yes, absolutely.
I can't sit right with that. And I get it. But I guess it has happened for other communities where people been fired from jobs and certain things like that. So, but it always seems...
Well, it's just these dynamics most disproportionately affect disenfranchised people, right? Mm-hmm. And historically, we have been the most disproportionately disenfranchised because of the legacy of America. That's one of my favorite phrases. I just think that we have gone way left, and instead of immediately resorting to ultimate punishment, I don't understand why as a society we can't, number one, we need to do a better job of taking people's bodies of work into account. Why are we treating Nick Cannon like Harvey Weinstein when Nick Cannon has, throughout the history of his career, been the antithesis of that? So Harvey Weinstein was removed from his company and he probably won't see the light of day. He'll probably spend the rest of his life in prison. Rightfully so. What he did was evil. Mm-hmm. What Nick Cannon did was made an ignorant mistake. Mm-hmm. He walked it back. He apologized. Mm-hmm. Why not use it as an opportunity to be a teachable moment? Mm-hmm. Put him on TV. Let him talk to a rabbi, whomever. Mm-hmm. I don't give a damn. Right, but it doesn't matter. They ain't gonna rehire him. The damage is already done. Yeah. Viacom ain't gonna rehire him. Yeah. And apparently he had a daytime TV show.
They pushing it back to 2021.
Which is bullshit. Just let him have, what does pushing it back do? It doesn't matter whether it's pushed back or not, because when it comes out, whether it's now or 8 months from now, you're still going to have people who want to get on Twitter and blast them for having the TV show in the first place. And it rubs me the wrong way when you get these cyber bullies, because that's all we are now, is cyber bullies who just want to engage in righteous indignation and cast out people for misstepping when we're not being reasonable to the point to at least take into account this person's body of work. Yeah. And, those same people who want to get on Twitter and on social media and get into the comments and create this firestorm that ends up resulting in this guy getting fired from something that he worked to earn, I guarantee you get them in a room, they probably gonna say some suspect stuff that you don't agree with.
They not gonna have, most people ain't even gonna have knowledge of what they're speaking on.
Exactly. So what makes what you're doing any better or worse than what he did, other than the fact that you're hiding behind your phone and he has actually put in work to get to a place where he is? It's a problem.
Yeah, and the problem is, we tend to think social media and all this stuff
has
a life. Like, Facebook doesn't have no life. The life that Facebook has is the people. And so it's just indicative of social media. Facebook is indicative of people and the people we deal with in this world and how people think. I heard an interesting stat like a month ago when they said 80% of the country is not educated.
That's crazy.
And that's crazy. But yet we preach education so much. But I'm starting to really see how.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
Because when you're educated, that means you have knowledge of certain things. And like you say, when it comes to race, most people don't give a damn on both sides. So most people not trying to educate themselves. They're going off what they see. So you just operating off emotion, not logic. And we don't preach critical thinking no more. We don't preach logical thinking. We're not preaching education. So you got a bunch of people on social media who, quote unquote, don't know what the hell they talking about.
No, it's not a quote unquote. They don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Because some people do. Not everybody.
Most people don't.
Most people
it's
don't.
Like most people are group thinkers. Like most people, like especially us. Yes, and
if it's trending, people really will go with it because it's trending. Like you don't have no opinion, but because you saw 1,000 people in a 2-minute span comment and you see 500 on comments going one way, you just jump on that side.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Without even wondering what your own opinion is. Absolutely. That's 100% true.
I've been done with Dwayne. I'm not going to say I canceled him, but that was my favorite player.
Right.
But he commented and then he brought his stuff back. And then, and it's just like, what is all this retraction? And I get the retraction part, but I'm like, the reason I don't give him on Kanye, and I'm not trying to get off subject, regardless of what reason I always like Kanye, is because I respect people who stand on what they believe. I don't care how you feel. I don't care what they say, because at the end of the day, it's one person. It's just me. So I can't be too concerned about what everybody thinks.
Yeah.
And then you want to criticize for somebody having the balls to even try to make an effort when most people just sit back, eating popcorn, commenting like it's a damn movie.
Yep. Yeah.
So
that's 100%. That's very good. Yeah, that's right. I just don't. It's this world where we feel we're just hypocrites. We're a bunch of hypocrites, and we're a bunch, like, you just want to sit in. I just have a fundamental issue with this righteous indignation, man. Like, these people really think that it is like necessary to bring someone down to that point without you looking in the mirror and realizing you probably have some opinions that are just as suspect as that, but you don't have a livelihood that can be stripped from you the way this person did. So you have far less to lose than he does.
Yeah, you want him to be with you. It's like,
you want him to be down. It's the crab in the barrel. It's the crab in the barrel. And I just, at a higher level, it's very unfortunate to me when these punk ass corporations bend the knee to this dynamic and they say, oh, we got to get Nick Cannon out of here. He says something that is insensitive. When the man is contrite, he's been showing contrition. Clearly it was a mistake. He made it. Use it as a teachable moment, but that's not what we want to do. We want to make examples out of people because we are just in this era of social justice. But what social justice is tantamount to in 2020 is punishment for those who don't think the way we think you need to think. And that's what it's become.
And it's bull.
It is bull, but that's the world we live in. Yeah. But I just wanted to touch on that because, and I'm not even a Nick Cannon fan, but it's just, I never had a problem with, I'm not against him either.
He trashed a rapper, he had a couple decent movies, and I like Wildin' Out.
Right, but
he's a staple. He's
I have always admired his work ethic. Yeah. So, like, it's the same dynamic with Kevin Hart. Like, am I a fan of Kevin Hart's comedy? Not particularly, but do I appreciate his work ethic? Absolutely. Yeah. And it's the same with Nick Cannon. And Nick Cannon, I'll say it again, he has done nothing but good work. He has been philanthropic and benevolent throughout his entire career, and there is no evidence whatsoever that this is somebody who has evil in his heart. But outside of serving prison time, he has received the same public punishment that Harvey Weinstein received, and they are not on the same level.
But I disagree too. Like you say, I think this generation, whatever this era, like work ethic is not something that's preached upon no more. A lot of people, like you said, a lot of people looking for just the easier way. People don't want to go through the hard grind. Like I was thinking about this yesterday when I was driving. I'm like, it's crazy how like when Kobe passed, for like the first 2 months, people was Kobe, black Mamba mentality. We talked this, and people say Mamba mentality. But damn, like, where's the Mamba mentality? Like, people not working, people not putting in the extra hours, people not going hard, people not grinding. Then when somebody else is doing all that, you want to try to criticize him
for whatever they may have said that you don't agree with. That's just
it's crazy.
It is crazy.
But,
it is.
I just know where it's a cancel culture, and for all the people coming up, the young and the younger generation of entrepreneurs, businessmen, workers, just be clear that you are in a cancel culture. So I think you just better make up in your mind that I'm already canceled. Regardless of what I say, PVO in my mind, I'm already canceled. So nobody can cancel PVO.
Right, that's right.
You know what I mean? So the canceling means you just don't want to be part of whatever it is. Conscious approach, positive vibes only.
Yeah.
That's what canceling in my eyes means.
Yeah, no. Conscious approach is what you can 100% consider me canceled. Listen, conscious approach is canceled. I'm going to cancel myself before I let you cancel me. Because you're not going to bully me.
No, bro.
You're not going to bully me into groupthink mentality. It's not going to happen.
No.
I'm not going to make the mistake of saying things without educating myself at least to a minimal degree on it first. And I think that that's really the only mistake that Nick Cannon made here. But nevertheless, you're not going to bully me into this groupthink mentality. It's not going to happen. I'm going to say what I want, and I don't care if you don't like it, because I'm going to tell you what I think you need to hear. That's just the way it goes. And if you don't like it, go to somebody else's channel, because I don't need you. But that's it, man. And Nick Cannon still got a lot going on, like you said. He gonna be all right. So it's big up. But this ain't no class issue. It's just it's the principle of it. It pisses me off.
I know, but we don't live in a principle society.
No, we don't. Absolutely, no.
People ain't got principles no more.
We don't.
We got entanglements, and we got everything else from entanglements to side pieces. We just in confusion state right now, and people are looking to. I think a lot of people don't have self-awareness, so everybody's looking to blame this or blame somebody else to make up for their lack of self-worth and self-awareness. And that's the sad part about it. Like, you go out your way to try to tear another man down when you're like, bro, you got your own life to worry about. Worry about your life. Worry about your life. Don't try to tear this man down, bro. We need to uplift and educate. But hey, Black Lives Matter.
So, hey, man, be sure to follow us be sure to check out the website, man, consciousapproach.com. Search us on YouTube, Conscious Approach. You can find me on Instagram at JVWins. You can find me on Facebook. Just search either Conscious Approach or my name. You can look it up. I ain't gonna spell it out. You can find Dave De Niro G on Instagram at 305_till_infinity and beyond, something like that. The apparel line on Instagram is pvo.apparel. And the website is pvoapparel.store. A lot of new designs, a lot of crazy new things going on, man. Promoting positivity, support black businesses, please. Just everybody, man, self-reflect, because this is getting out of hand, man. Y'all are really doing the most. And I don't know if I left out anything before the sign off.
We got this shirt on though, man. You can't just nobody, but shout out to rest in peace to all the ones lost.
Say it over there too.
My bad.
We got multiple cameras going on.
We stepping up the grind over here. So hey, we got the PVO apparel right here, but rest in peace to all the unfortunate lives lost to the hands of police officers. So here we got Eric Gardner and all of them. Rest in peace, man. Black Lives Matter. And all lives matter, to be honest, but man, just take it serious.
Well, don't say that. Black people get mad when you say all lives matter.
They all, we are. It really is. Both statements speak for themselves, but like I said, most people don't think logically. We just react. So when people say all lives matter, but we're not gonna get into that, man.
That's
like I said, we know that's a whole nother debate. But Hey, we signing out, man. I
Yeah,
love everybody, man.
un-
Positive vibes only. So
Yeah,
cancel me if you want, but I love everybody,
Yeah.
so it don't make no difference.
Yeah. Until next time, man. Please keep it locked. Please self-reflect, man, and before you get to your itchy fingers, just think about your opinions. And if
Twitter
someone heard that, would somebody want to cancel you? And until next time, please keep it logical, support logical content, and we'll see you later.
Yeah.
We out of there.
Holla. Peace.